knocking stuff over here. Let me just sit for a minute and get myself together here. And just bring up some stuff on here real quick. I'm going to be talking about abundant mindset this morning. I thought I'd come on and do a quick little live stream for you. And I even have notes. That's right, I have notes today on my computer because there's things that I want to talk about and say about this subject. So, relax. It is officially Friday here, and also let me just make sure this is working. Woo! It's officially Friday, which means that it's the weekend. You probably knew that because, you know, obviously. And it also means that I am child-free this weekend. So can we just do a little dance for that? Child-free. Woo, woo. That's right, still dancing. All my kids are at their dad's, so I'm going to go pick up my little one from nursery soon. But after that, he is going to his dad's, and then the other kids are going to their dad's. So I officially can just relax and breathe. Because it kind of gets to the end of the week, and you know, I'm a single parent with 3 children, it gets to the end of the week and you're a little bit like, you know, like the eye twitch starts and you're a bit like, okay, I could do with a little rest now. So I am here to you today to talk about abundant mindset. And hello to the replay viewers. If you're watching it, I would love for you to interact and comment, even though it's not live. Still, leave a little comment and let me know what you're thinking, and if there's anything that I'm asking you to sort of, any little exercises. And by the way, I do have an exercise for you to do. Morning, John, how you doing? Excuse me. Then be sure to leave a comment. Hi John, I'm just talking to the replay viewers and just saying, even though it's not live, for them to actually still leave a comment and still interact, because then the more feedback you give me, the more that I can, you know, create stuff and content and help you with your mindset around certain areas. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about what abundance really is. I'm going to talk about money. I know that's a little bit of a sort of hot topic. I'm going to talk a little bit about money, and I'm going to answer a question that someone's been asking. Someone PM'd me and asked me privately. I think maybe it could apply to other people in the group as well, so I'm going to answer that. And then that'll be me done, and then we can all just be abundant and just love it. If you're on live, say hi and let me know that you're there. And I'm just going to have a wee drink of tea. I don't know if you missed my happy dance, but I was doing a happy dance because I'm child-free tonight. I get my kids back tomorrow, but I'm child-free tonight, and today I'm going to pick my little one up from nursery, then he goes to his dad's, but woo, do a happy dance with me. Anyway, right, enough. So, abundance. An abundant mindset. I want to really just start by saying having money does not mean that you have an abundant mindset, right? I'm going to talk about money, but I want to just make that clear. Like, just because you have money doesn't mean that you have an abundant mindset. There's a thing called, oh, good morning, Roger. I was talking about you there, Roger, saying that I'm going to answer a question, so I'm glad you're here. Just because you have money does not mean that you are abundant, right? There's a thing called, I don't know the exact name, but it's called something like the lottery winner syndrome. And basically it's about people who win the lottery and then they just basically spend all their money. They basically repel it. They win it and then they just can't keep it. They just spend it all. They need to get rid of it. They're not comfortable with it. You know, they don't really know how to manage money, and they don't have an abundant mindset, right? They're not in the mindset of abundance. And what happens is it's actually like a form of sabotage. They just spend it all and get rid of it and lavish ridiculous things. Not that there's anything wrong with being lavish, but you know what I'm saying? They get rid of it, they just spend it all. And a lot of, there's cases of lottery winners and things like that who then do become depressed. You know, there's like suicide cases, there's people who just hate life because they haven't adjusted their mindset to the abundance, the money, physical money that they have received. And you also see it with celebrities. You see it with people who amass large amounts of money. And there's so many celebrities who have, filed for bankruptcy, who have just, spent all their money in lavish lifestyles, who just have earned or accumulated or somehow got a large sum of money and then just haven't been able to keep a hold of it. And this is kind of what I mean by just because you have money doesn't mean you have an abundant mindset, right? And then you might be asking, well, the law of attraction, like how could they, this is something that I used to always kind of think around this, and then I got the answer. It was like, how could they actually attract that money in the first place if they didn't have an abundant mindset? And this is also another part of this, like, abundant mindset does not mean tangible physical money. Abundance is a very general, it's a word, right, but it's a very general feeling. Abundance is a feeling, and it's a very general feeling. There's lots of other feelings and emotions that go along with abundance if you really dig deep into it, right? But the reason why these people have been able to manifest, physical money is because they've been at a time in their life temporarily where they have been allowing that to come to them, right? They've been in the receptive mode. They've been in a place where they have felt the feeling of what it would be like to have that money. Now, they might have not have felt it around money. They might have been doing something creative. They might have been in a state of mind where they felt very, life was going well for them. They felt free. They felt, if you look at like celebrities or creative artists or things like that, like they're in a creative zone where they're feeling abundant and there's abundance of creativity. And what happens is they temporarily align with the money, so it comes into their experience. But what happens is their outside circumstances cause the inner feelings to shift, right? So rather than feeling abundance from the inside out, they basically look at their outside circumstances and react to whatever's happening. So then they get this money and then they go, like, oh crap, kind of thing. Or they get the money and then they just sabotage it. They might not even, they don't have the awareness, they don't know they're doing it, but it's like a sabotage. And you might have even experienced it in your own life where you've been able to have, a sum of money, or you've been able to, you've received money or something like that, and you've just not been able, maybe you regret spending it, or maybe you look back and you think, oh, I shouldn't have kind of spent it on that, or maybe you could have put it to better use, or, there's a thing called buyer's remorse as well, and that's kind of like having money but not having an abundant mindset. Buyer's remorse is having money and buying something but not lining up to what you've bought, not lining up to the abundance that is the truth, right? I hope this is making sense, because I've kind of went on a little bit of a rant here, but I just want to kind of open this and say that just because you have money, or just because maybe your money comes in, does not necessarily mean that there's an abundant, that you have an abundant mindset. So let me know if you're there, if this is resonating with you, because what we're going to do, and I'm going to talk about how to actually receive actual tangible physical money, because who the hell doesn't want money, right? This isn't about bashing money. This isn't about saying, oh, I don't want or need money. That's not what this is about. We live in a physical universe. We live in a physical world right now. The way we're perceiving our world is in a physical way, tangible. So obviously we want tangible things. We want money. We want nice clothes. We want houses. We want experiences. We want to experience the tangible things. Morning, Hilary. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about money as well, but most importantly, this is about the feeling of abundance. And I'm going to give you a little exercise to do as well, which is you'll really notice a massive shift. You might even manifest money from doing this. I'm going to teach you that as well, right? So that's a little bit about the lottery winner syndrome and about celebrities. And just to really go into what abundance is, right? As I was saying, abundance is a feeling. And it's a very general feeling. I mean, you can say, oh, I feel abundant, but there's no real strong emotion there. It doesn't really do anything, and it's kind of thrown about so much now, especially in the personal development world. It's kind of thrown around like cow dung, do you know what I mean? It's just like one of those words where it's like, oh yeah, abundance, but it doesn't really do anything. But when you dig deeper into what abundance actually feels like, and the way that you can actually align with abundance, with money, with any tangible, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's health and weight loss, maybe it's a business, whatever it is that the area you want to feel abundant around. I think it's important to understand that money is just a physical representation of energy. Because money is currency and currency is energy, right? So money is just a physical representation of energy, and it's really just used as an exchange. It's really a token of, it can be used as a token of commitment, you know, it can be used as, you know, an exchange. We put so much like emphasis on it when it's really just, I mean, it's just kind of like, I've got a jigsaw piece here because my kids freaking love jigsaws. It's like, it's no different to that, only it's the value we put on money, but I mean, technically it's just a thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I am getting to a point here, slightly kind of went off track, but I'm getting to a point, which is that true abundance comes from the feeling, right? And the feeling that money can give you, and the feeling that other outside circumstances can give you, like a really great relationship, a house that you love, a car that you love, great friendships, great experiences. The real feeling is one of security, right? A lot of people think it's freedom, and freedom is in there, but it's really about feeling secure. It's really about feeling that you have, it's almost like there's like a backup plan almost, but it's almost like you have this cushion of security, and which causes a feeling of confidence, which causes a feeling of possibilities. It doesn't cause you to necessarily doubt yourself and doubt your desires and doubt. Hello IK, morning, lovely to see you here, love. It doesn't necessarily cause you to doubt your self-worth and doubt you know, your desires. It doesn't. If you think about having a lot of money, right, and you want to book a trip somewhere, then you don't question that desire and question all the money and going into self-doubt and worthiness and how and all these sorts of things. If the money's there, it's kind of like it gives you that security and that confidence to just do the things that you want to do, right? So yes, there's an element of freedom in there because you have freedom of choice. But what I want to say to you is you have freedom of choice now, and you also have freedom to feel secure now, regardless of what your outside circumstances look like. And if you watched my other live videos and heard a little bit about my story of when I was at that place where I had absolutely nothing, no income, nothing, complete scarcity mode, didn't know how I was going to get money to even feed my kids tomorrow. There was days that I went without eating just to feed them, like cheap ass 30 pence pasta and the cheapest horrible tuna and things like that. Ugh, it was really horrible. But it was in that time that I learned and I discovered that, wait a minute, abundance and feeling secure and free is a choice. Like, even though this is happening to me and I was reacting to it for so long, it wasn't until I had that shift where I was like, do you know what? Fuck this. Like, I just got to the point where I was just done. There was like a surrendering almost, and I just chose to notice the things in my life where I was secure. You know, like, luckily my mum was my landlord, so, you know, even though she was kind of like at me for the money and wasn't happy with me, luckily she was my landlord. Otherwise I would have been out in the street, I would have been homeless. So that was something that I could focus on, like, you know, like that security, like I have, there are people to fall back on. But anyway, the point being that really money is about that feeling of security. When you're in a relationship that you feel secure in, you know that person's not going anywhere, you know they're not cheating on you, you know that you know that the love is mutual and there's a mutual exchange. Like, that is a feeling of security, a feeling of confidence, self-confidence, and knowing it's like a sureness. It's just this feeling of being sure. And when you can sort of live your life that way, in that state, then you're attracting all manner of people, circumstances, events, money, like physical, tangible things that represent that, because what you put out into the universe you get back. That is the law. So the question is how... Oh, is it breaking up? Is that my signal that's breaking up maybe? Let me know, because the views kind of go up and down here, so I don't know if it's my... If it's breaking up, you can kind of sort of catch it on the replay, because it smooths out in the replay. So it might be my signal here that's breaking up, which is a bit of a pain. But I'll keep going, and then you can sort of catch it on the replay if that's okay. Okay. I apologise if it is. I feel like I apologise if it is breaking up. Let me see what I'm talking about here. So I'm talking about the feeling of security, right? That's really what this is about. So when you have that feeling of security, what happens is you start manifesting things, right? You start manifesting money. For me, I got to a point where I was manifesting £1,000 out the blue. Like this is just after I come out of this really tough period where I had no money and this survival thing, and I changed my mindset. And I forgot to tell you that I did something. I actually did this tangible thing that I found in my notes yesterday that I wrote when I was going through it, that I did this tangible thing, and I'll share that with you, which really shifted everything. And what happened was I started manifesting money, like just kind of left, right and centre, and it was just coming out the blue, and it was coming in ways that I didn't expect. So, you know, through family members or back payments on things, but in a very sort of it was in a bit of an unpredictable way, right? And what I'm all about and what this group is all about is creating your own reality, right? So this is about creating the results in your life. And to me, when there was money just sort of manifesting left, right and centre, it was a little bit, even though I really, really appreciated it, it was a little bit too inconsistent. Like I wanted to know, like, you know, like I wanted to be sort of in control of that. I wanted to be able to call in money. I wanted to be able to create money on demand, right? And that's what this group is all about, because manifesting money out the blue is different to creating it and consistently having it coming in and consistently, you know, setting up ways in your life where you can receive the money from that place of feeling secure first, right? Feeling confident, self-assured, loving yourself, feeling all those emotions first. Then what you can do is you can look at ways where you can create money in a way that is in alignment with that, because you're consistently feeling that regardless of what's going on in the outside. And look, it takes a little bit of work. Like it takes a little bit of aligning your mindset. Like you can't just expect to overnight just have it. It does take, it's basically a daily practice. I'm just going to put it there as a daily practice. And the only reason that you wouldn't do the daily practice is because maybe you didn't believe that it worked, or, you know, you didn't believe that it was, you know, a thing. But I want you to maybe just, if you are in that state, just borrow my faith for a little while, and just I want to tell you that this absolutely is the path to everything you want, and it's the path to creating your own reality. It's about creating from the inside out, but there does have to be actionable steps that are taken, right? And one thing I'm going to talk to you about just coming up right now is the one thing really that you have to do to create money, to create your own reality, to create tangible physical abundance that you can then experience. And yes, the universe is still going to give you these surprise miracles and these awesome things, you know, to happen that align with your feeling of security and abundance and freedom, and, you know, feeling confident and self-assured. But what we're talking about here is creating it, right? It's taking some control over that. Oh no, Ike, I'm sorry that this is breaking up. I'll need to see whether this is my side or yours. If it's mine, then that sucks. Hold on a wee second and let me just see. I can see it here, but let me just check behind here and see what it's saying. It is saying I'm still live. So I'll just keep talking, and if you could catch it on the replay. If you have any questions, then let me know and I'll answer it. But I'm sorry about that. It might actually be my internet connection, so I'll look into that. Where was I? Yeah, so if we're creating our own reality, it's about creating the tangible. See if anyone else is there. Can you just let me know if this is breaking up or not? Right, so what is it you have to do to actually create money, create abundance, create the physical, tangible thing in your life? One thing, one simple thing. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? You have to ask, right? And if you are in here, if you're a business owner, I know lots of you have, you know, your healing gifts and abilities that you want to use, put out into the world and receive abundance for, right? You want to when I say abundance, money. You can choose abundance now. You want to receive the tangible physical money, right? And when we're talking about creating our own reality, what you have to do is you have to ask. And there's a 3-step process to this, right? And it's ask, align, and then receive. So the only thing that's going to allow money to continually come into your experience, especially if you're a business, is for you to be continually asking for it. And that means continually asking for the sale. It means continually putting your services out there and asking people to pay for it effectively. It's promoting, it's speaking to someone who's an ideal client or an ideal customer, and it's putting okay, John, it's putting the that question to them, and it's asking for the money. And what blocks abundance and real money coming to you, and it becomes very, very frustrating, by the way, when you are trying to manifest money but it's not coming soon enough, and then you're in that place where you're like, okay, I'm doing everything but it's not happening and it's not coming. You know, it's time to look at, well, am I asking? Like, am I taking the steps? Am I digging the ditches, so to speak? Am I creating the right environment where people can give me money for what I have, for the gifts that I have, and for the way that I serve? Or, you know, if you make things, if you, you know, have a service, whatever it is you do, are you asking consistently for a sale? Because if you're not, then you're not going to be creating the type of income that you want. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that you have to go and chap every door. You know, there's ways now that are leveraged on the internet, like, you know, kind of like this, where, you know, that this group's still very much in its infancy, but it's going to grow. Like, I'm putting in the pieces to allow it to grow. Where I can talk one to many, you know what I mean? I can talk to groups of people all at the one time. It's not necessarily chapping on every door, right? And asking each individual person. You can ask a group of people, and the law of averages say that a certain percentage of them will actually say yes, right? And also, let's just put it straight up, like, there's people out there who need what you have to offer. If you are here watching this and you're in alignment with what I'm telling you, and the information I'm giving you comes purely from my heart, and I know that I can't possibly attract and align people who don't match that. So I know for a fact that you have value to share. I know for a fact that you have gifts to help people and to really, not only that, but receive that tangible support in return for actually giving your services or whatever it is you sell or whatever it is you do in the world to them, right? So, tangent. But that's the difference between manifesting money, right, and in a way where you're just sort of feeling aligned and actually creating it for yourself. And I was speaking with a friend, and she was talking about how, you know, the system that she's in, she works, but like the system that she's in the UK with the benefits system, it's kind of like when you earn too much money, they take money away from you. And I was stuck in this trap for a long, long time, and it's not a nice place to be. You're very dependent on that, and it's very much like you're in fear, because it's like, oh, but if I earn this, they take away this. And then you maybe speak to people, you know, you speak to the people on the phone, the benefits people on the phone, and they're addressing you from the place of their own fear, because they are not in an abundant mindset. It's actually quite rare to find and speak to people who have an abundant mindset, you know, maybe in your life. That's why it's important to be in groups like this, where everyone is sort of raising their vibration, raising their mindset, and doing the work together, and you have like a little safe space where you can create your own reality and you're staying focused on what you're creating, rather than speaking to people who are effectively putting their fears across to you. Because when I was starting my business, there was a lot of, you know, doubters, there was a lot of, oh, but what ifs, people who just didn't believe, you know, they didn't even know about online business because it's just not in their consciousness. So all they can give you is their fear projected. But it's up to you to say, you know, well, no, like, this is the truth, this is my truth, because I feel it, like, I feel it, and also I choose it, and I decide that this is what, like, this is what's happening, this is how I'm creating my life. Like, you just decide, you know what I mean? So the 3 steps is ask, align, manifest. So you have to ask for the money that you want. And what I was going to say about my friend is, like, you know, she was kind of feeling in this stuck situation. So the first thing you would do with that is really look and start noticing the money that you do have, right? Because this is a mindset shift here. And Bob Proctor has an amazing quote, or, you know, something, I don't even know if it's a quote or whether he came up with it or someone else did, but what he says is, do you love money more than you hate poverty, right? And this is how to tell where you are on the abundance spectrum, right? And what you're manifesting. Do you love money more than you hate poverty? Do you feel strongly that you love money, you love wealth, you love the idea of receiving it, you feel worthy, you love people who are wealthy, you just love money, like, you know that money makes the world go round, you know that it's an exchange, like, you just love it? Or do you hate passionately poverty? The fact people are suffering, maybe the fact that you don't have enough money, maybe situations in your life, looking at family members who don't have enough money. Do you feel strongly the hate towards that or the love towards money? Because whatever side of the spectrum you're on or there in between is what you're manifesting, because it's what you're putting out, so it's what you're bringing back in, right? And a lot of us are in the spectrum where we hate poverty. We're hating not having money more than loving what we have and loving the idea of receiving more. Does that make sense? And this is like a total breakthrough. So what you have to do is you have to do the practices and the mindset work every day, just as you would go to the gym and work out your actual muscles, to look in the mirror a month later and notice a difference in the physical version of yourself. It's the same thing. It's like you have to go to the mental gym and work out in order to see the physical results in your life. Like, you can't hate your financial situation and hate poverty and hate money and expect to have it or expect to have more of it. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So something you can do, and I got this from a book called Get Rich Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas. It's amazing. You should go and read it. Get Rich Lucky Bitch. And she talks about tracking your money, right? So she talks about every day tracking your money. So just only really tracking what you're receiving right now. Like, don't track what you're putting out. Just track what you're receiving. So maybe at the end of the day, you would sit and you would go, well, I've got this much in my purse, and I've got this much in my bank, and I've got this much in savings, and I've got this much here, and I found, 20p on the street, and I found money down the side of my couch. And you literally just track every single piece of money. It doesn't matter if it's 1 pence or whatever currency you're in, like euro. It doesn't matter if it's like the lowest in your currency or the highest or whatever. The point is you're being aware and there's appreciation for that, and really get into that mindset of appreciating this money that is coming in. So if you do that at the end of the day, every day for 30 days, you will see a massive shift in your financial situation, because effectively you're putting yourself in the right emotional environment to receive the insights to create more money. You might have money just randomly manifest, but if you're in the situation where you want to create your own reality and you want to actually create money and have some control over that, what that does is it puts you in that frequency of receiving, of appreciation, of security. When you start tracking, and I've done this exercise, when you start tracking the money that you have, it puts you in a feeling of security, because you're like, oh wow, like actually I have received all that today, and I have this, I have this in my bank and this, so it's not, I don't actually need to freak out. Like, it puts you in that feeling of security. And something else you can add, this is just something that I do, that you can add onto this, is when you get up in the morning, is set the intention for the day. So I set the intention to feel really, really secure today. I set the intention to find money randomly. I set the intention to notice all the wealth around me. And also, I'm going to give you the link to my affirmations, because they're going to really, really, really help. In fact, let me put the link in here. So if you go to www.carlydawson.com/affirmations, and then the password for the page, because it's only for you guys, is affirmations. Let me know if that works. But you can go and you can put them in a folder on your computer, or you can print them off, or you can do whatever you want with them. And let me just check that this is the right link and everything. Yeah, affirmations. Before I'm like giving out this. Sorry, I'm just checking that this is. Yeah. Right, so they're all there. They're all there, so go to that link, type in the password, and you've got affirmations there. You can drag them off of the page and put them into a folder on your computer and do whatever the hell you want with them. I am getting them onto a PDF. To be honest, I messed up putting it onto a PDF. I really need to hire this out. But I put them in a PDF and then I repeated like 5 of them in one page. I was like, oh! But the PDF is coming if you want to print them off in an actual sheet and then cut them out. So, you're welcome, Hilary. Let me know the shift you have with these, because these affirmations I created, right, myself through, when I work with people, I do like focus wheels and I do a lot of money mindset stuff, and it was basically through really tuning in to the feeling. So I would write, there's a process that I do where you write the outcome that they want in the middle, and for me the outcome that I want in the middle, and then you write all the supporting statements around it, basically affirmations. So these are ones that I've created myself, and that just, they work, they put you in the vibration of abundance and security. And what I would advise doing is reading them all at once. So at least once a day, read them all, like don't just pick one. Go through them all every day, read them all, and then pick one that you want to maybe carry with you that day, or the one that you want to really focus on that day. But do read them all consecutively, and you'll notice your vibration raising. You just feel like a sense of like, as you're reading them. So that's what I want to say about that. Sorry, just let me see here. So you ask consistently, then you align with what you're asking for. So have that confidence that like, you're good enough, you're worthy enough, what you do have value to share with the world, you know, like don't, you know, like see the value in what you are asking money for. And just to go back to my friend who was talking about being stuck in, you know, this system, you know, my suggestion would be start finding ways to create, or at least put the intention out there, universe, I want to create my own reality, I want to create a stream of income that's going to support me and my family. I want to create a stream of income or streams of income that's going to take me out of this system where I feel, you know, it's you know, a system that actually kind of keeps you a bit trapped. I want, set the intention, like how would I do that? And then just stay in this vibration of abundance and security, just stay there, track what's coming in to your life, and wait for the inspired ideas and the impulses, and you'll know that it's an inspired idea because it will hit you like a ton of bricks. You'll be so high that you'll feel like your head's in the clouds, and you'll be like, oh, it'll give you so much excitement that you just are like, oh my god, where do I start? Like, that's the type of thing you need to really be in the place to receive that type of powerful idea. And like once they start coming, so you need to pick one and really run with it. That if there's something that I've learned is like you have to just pick one and run with it. However, it can evolve over time. So your exercises were to figure out, do you love money more than you hate poverty? And then track what's coming into your life. And the real question here, to make this really, really simple, is really asking yourself, am I allowing abundance? Am I allowing money? Am I allowing myself to feel abundant regardless? Because remember, money, physical money, does not mean that you have an abundant mindset. You know, you could be up to your eyeballs in debt and still receiving, you know, a lot of money. You know, there's a lot of businesses whose expenses pretty much match their income. So yes, they might look like they have a really high income, their expenses are up there, so they're actually still in scarcity mode. An abundant mindset is something that you choose for yourself, and you choose it first. And then it means that you can handle anything else that comes your way. It means that you're empowered around money and empowered around relationships. And, you know, if you want to be abundant with your health, do you love health more than you hate sickness? Do you love being thin and toned and like healthy more than you hate being, now I'm not saying that any of you are this because I've not seen you, just theoretically, do you hate being thin, healthy, toned, love being thin, healthy and toned more than you hate being overweight, lacking in energy and sluggish, and you know, like, where is your energy going? Do you feel stronger? Even though that might be your reality right now, that doesn't mean that it needs to keep being your reality. You create your own reality by focusing on loving what you want more than hating what you might already be experiencing. Oh, that was good. That was good. Sorry, but that was good. So are you allowing or resisting? That's it. Are you allowing it or are you resisting it? Are you loving money or are you hating it? Which one is it? Right, and I'm going to answer a question that someone sent to me via private message, and it was basically about, they were asking, you know, they're very camera shy, they're very insecure on camera, they don't like being in the spotlight really, they are wondering they want to promote their business with video, but they are feeling really sort of insecure about that because they feel like they don't talk well into the camera and they're not really used to being in the limelight. It might cause a lot of fear and anxiety. And what I would say to that is, firstly, is video the right method, right? When you're marketing your business, you have to go with your strengths and you have to go with the path of least resistance. So I personally love being on video. I don't particularly love creating PDFs. In fact, I freaking hate creating PDFs. So you're probably not going to get a checklist from me or something like that, or something that's like a PDF type thing, right? I don't particularly enjoy doing the sort of setting up tech stuff, you know, Facebook ads, websites. But what I do enjoy and what I do really like is using my creative ability to write. So I like writing emails, I like writing posts, and I love being on video, and I like talking, right? Speaking and writing my message is where my strengths are, not necessarily fiddling about with PDFs, which is what I've been doing effectively, which is why there's been a hold up with everything. But fiddling about with PDFs, fiddling about with tech is not my strengths, right? So what I say to you is, what do you love doing? Like, do you love writing? Is that where you're creative? Do you love taking pictures? You know, I love Instagram as well. I love Instagram quotes. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Carly Hula Hooper, because I hoop dance as well. So at Carly Hula Hooper. But it's like, what I would say is find what you love to do first. And maybe you have a desire to do video, and this is the other thing, right? Do you want to do video, or do you just think it's the way that it's the best way to market your video just because everyone else says it is? Because that's not necessarily the truth. And a client I work with is a great example of this. She's a fantastic writer, and she puts across a lot of emotion and feeling in emails and blog posts, and she writes books, right? She's a published author. But video takes her longer. There's not really the same energy. Yes, she's good on video and she'll do it. She has the confidence to do it, but she doesn't get as much interaction and as much, she doesn't make as much money as what she does when she just writes. And I think it's about finding what your strength is and saying, well, that's my path of least resistance. Like, this is how I love to express talking about my business, marketing my business. It's maybe not being in front of a camera, maybe it's writing, maybe it's creating little pictures. Are you good at photography? Do you have an eye for creating little pictures? You know, the main point is you just want to put the value of what you're selling across one way or another. It doesn't really matter the method of how you're doing it. What matters is that you're getting the point across to the person who's looking for your service. This is what I do, this is how I help, this is how your life's going to change, this is how your life's going to be easier, and this is how much it is, kind of thing. You don't necessarily have to do video, but if you're looking for a bit of a mindset shift around video, then what I would say is start practicing. If you desire to do video, if you're like, no, I really, really want to be the person on camera, and I really want to be, for people to see me talking to the camera, and I want to be that person, then it's about how much resistance you have around that, because if that desire is there, then you should do that. Like, that is what you should do. But you need to really define, is this what I think I should be doing versus what I actually want to do? But if you really, really want to be in video but you just feel terrified, then I think it's worth just doing some alignment work around that and just like gently looking at it from a broader perspective. Okay, I might not be perfect in video right now, but at least I'm starting. Like, we all have to start somewhere. No one gets on camera the first time and is amazing. You know, like, I might be a little bit, I might stumble over my words and I might be a little bit shy at first, but everything develops with practice, and, you know, I'm proud of myself for actually taking the first step and doing it. And I know that I'll get better over time, and I know that because I'm doing what my heart is effectively telling me to do, I will see results from it over time when I consistently put myself out there and consistently take the actions. Nice, John. Concentrating on my strengths brings the feeling of abundance and security. Well, there you go then. Exactly. Like, I love doing these live streams, and I love writing as well. I love doing live streams like this. I like the energy and I like talking to you guys. Some people, this might be their worst nightmare. You know, some people just prefer writing and then they get feedback from that. They don't want to be live on camera like this. It's like that post I put the other day about following your bliss. What do you love to do? And this applies for business and money making. Like, what do you love to do? Do that. Follow that. Don't do something just because you think it's the way it's going to work. Because, by the way, that works against you. It's like you push at something and it pushes back harder. Does that make sense? Excuse me. So that's what I would say to that. If you really want to do video, then start practicing. You're going to have to if it's in your heart to do it, just do it. Another thing you can do is maybe not have you on camera at first. It can be like you're filming, and the reason I say this is because you've sent me a little bit of information about your business. Like, it can be you demonstrating what you do and then talking over the top of it in like a voiceover. So you're not actually on camera. It can maybe just be hands or something demonstrating it, or it could be someone else demonstrating it, and then you talking over the top of it. That might sort of ease you in. But ultimately, if you're being called to be on camera and talk, then I think that you just have to do it. You know, align with it. You know, be kind on yourself and just get up there and do it. Anyway, I think that's everything I had to say around this subject. Oh, I was going to pull a card. That's what I was going to do. See? Just as well I've taken notes. Excuse me. I have these wonderful cards here. I was going to use my Messages with Angels ones, but I can't find them. So they're hiding. So clearly I'm not meant to use them. So I'm just going to use these instead. And I know that whatever message comes through for here. So this is a collective message for me and you and the group. So if you're watching this, the law of attraction has brought you here. The law of attraction has aligned you with, you know, you've in somehow, some way asked for this, because that's why you're watching it. and this applies to you. It doesn't matter if you're watching the replay or if you're on live, it still applies. And also take your own message from it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm saying is completely, you know, like 100%. You know, you can take what you want from it, is what I'm saying. You know, there will be a message for you, but you'll know in your gut, like, oh, this is what it means for me. Does that make sense? So setting the intention. What do you want to tell us today? I'm just waiting for one to pop up, not a million, and there's one there. Because sometimes like 50 of them come up and you're just like, no, one. Oh, I like this. Okay, this is a little bit risky. There's a naked person on this card. So this is the card here, which is purification. And there's a lovely naked, beautiful, divine goddess woman on there. Purification, water, right? Emotional cleansing, and that's what I was going to say. Water is all about emotions. Like, when you want to clear emotions, go to the sea, go to a river, go in a bath, and it helps draw out the emotions for clearing. So in regards to what we were talking about, I feel like this is her sort of emerging from emotions and into the light. Do you see that? So maybe it's emerging, and this water looks kind of dark. So maybe it's about emerging from, you know, some mindset or something that you've been thinking that's not been allowing you to really truly shine. And what else? Yeah, like what I would say is, especially because it's the weekend, take some time to be around the water. Like, go for a bath or go to the sea or go not for a walk by a lake or something like that, and really do the exercises that I was telling you about. Think about, like, okay, I'm going to really focus on loving abundance, loving myself, feeling secure, loving money, loving what I do have in my life. I'm going to really focus on that, and just watch how your mood and your attitude changes. So I'm loving the fact that it's just like this, it's just like a total naked woman. It's just like, yeah. So that's what I would say for that. Like, because it's, if you can go around water, you're going to feel like you're coming out of maybe like brain fog or something is what came to me there, like a kind of fogginess around what you're supposed to be doing, and into the light. And also spend time around water. So that's what I would say with that, and I'm taking that for myself as well. I might go to the beach later on because it's actually sunny here, so I might go to the beach later on. So let me know what you think about that, if you get something different. I'm just holding it a bit closer so you can see. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just waiting to see if I can see this. And look at the glow on this card as well. There's like a massive glow of this. So, yep, that's what I get from that. So I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and let me know what you got from it, and let me know how the exercises go and how you're feeling and all those good things. I'm just rambling now. Excuse me. And also the affirmations that I've created, let me know what you think of them, and read them through and see what comes up for you. And then you can also pick one and maybe, like, you know, print it off, or you can just have it there so that it's visible when you're seeing it a few times a day, and really focus on it. Focus on one that just makes you feel like, oh, that really speaks to me. So I hope that you have a fantastic weekend and a wonderful day, and I am going to go up and get my son from nursery soon. And thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Ta-ta. I forget, I need to come around here and talk this off. Bye. Bye.